introduction.
Oh yeah, hi. I'm Cody. This is Matt.
This is episode 2
of Punk Rock Horror Podcast.
If you didn't know what you were listening to, welcome to just Unqualified with Anna Ferris.
Jesus.
This is the Nerdist podcast.
You're a nerdist.
I'm Chris Hardwick.
No, you're not.
No.
How the hell did I get here? Who are you?
I'm not. I'm not Chris Hardwick at all.
There's nothing about me that's Chris Hardwick.
Anyways, how was your week?
It was good. Got drunk Thursday and worked. And then I went and saw some of my dad and some family Friday and this morning, so it was pretty nice.
Nice. Oh, before we continue, we got to go down to the Department of Corrections. We didn't talk about when we're going to release episodes. Episode 1. So right now we're just going to do bi-weekly episodes. We're trying to make strides to do episodes every week, but just like we mentioned, episode 1, everything that we're doing is coming out of our pocket. And so until we can get to a point where we can do weekly, for now it will be bi-weekly. Hopefully by the time you guys are listening to this, we've gotten figured out and have like more of a set schedule when we're doing weekly ones.
Yep. So if not, like we said, we're going to be doing bi-weekly, so you'll be getting about 4 episodes a month. Yay!
So
Yay!
we want to bring you more, but it all comes down to funding.
Yeah. And we're making strides.
So, which I think one thing we're going to try to do is set up a Patreon, and we'll figure out more of the details and let you guys know what that's going to look like.
Yep.
And stuff like the Patreon's going to go to helping fund this podcast, and
so you guys can get, all of you listeners, more content more often, and then also help us get to a point where we can start supplying some merch and stuff like that. So that's all.
Yeah. Was there anything else we had to correct? Oh no, we should probably talk about what the beginning of this episode is about, what episode 2 is about.
Your episode 2. It's all about you. Haha, made a rhyme.
Podcast is over.
Time.
I'm done with this shit. I already give up. Fuck it. I'm just gonna.
No, you don't.
I'm gonna go start a podcast with Mercedes. We're gonna talk about pug stuff.
So you're like, how's your day, Mercedes?
Yeah? Tell me about it.
She's judging us so hard right now.
She wants pets, is what she wants. Who's a good girl?
Yeah. But like we said at the end of the last episode, this is going to be our second episode of the week. And that's going to be our movie review / comparison stuff. And this week we're doing The Void and The Awakening. And
we're only going to try to do movies that we think you guys are going to enjoy because we enjoy them. Because we're just your average horror fan as well.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll bring in a movie that we just hated so much.
Evil Bong versus Ginger Dead Man.
God damn it. Such a bad movie. So bad.
So many things wrong with it.
So many things. But, yeah. So...
Sorry, everyone. Speaking of corrections, if I sound super fucked up and like I'm as fat as shit, it's because it's getting colder where we live. So I'm getting more snotty. So I'm trying not to breathe so heavy. But my pathogens are all clogged up because of my boogers.
Sounded like you're about to go all diva with that.
I am.
My pathogens.
My pathogens. I need to do my yoga.
Handle it right now.
I need to. Like, what the fuck? I need my pumpkin spice in my Uggs.
Hey, don't be dissing on pumpkin spice. All right, I love that shit.
What the fuck, Cody?
Got my basic white girl moments.
What the fuck?
Hey, until you've had pumpkin spice Baileys, you haven't lived. Shit's delicious.
That's liquor. That's different.
I love my pumpkin spice, right?
Yeah, we got Lauren a new car.
Oh, nice. What kind of car is it?
Yeah, you act like I didn't tell you before we
You know
started.
what? I'm trying to be enthusiastic.
I know, I get it. You're trying to be authentic and whatnot, but
God.
I get it. We need stuff to talk about on the podcast to kill time every now and then. But
what kind of car is it?
You're like, car? What's a car?
No way.
What is that? Wait, it has 4 wheels?
No, and an engine.
You're fucking kidding me.
Wait,
shut the fuck up.
Don't smirk me here. Does it have windows?
I hear they have windows. But no, yeah, we got her a car, and she was breaking down crying because she was super happy to finally have a car that wasn't a piece of shit. But the dealer, I don't know why I always do this in public settings, but whenever my social security number comes up, that I have to put it down, I always tell everybody the story. When we were applying for an apartment complex, or applying for an apartment and an apartment complex, the complex sucks. I won't say their name because I don't want anyone to get a chance to hear them, but
yeah, you
can find my review on them on Google if you really look.
I'm not going to, but all right.
I know. But no, so we were registering, and I put down my social security, and the apartment complex calls me and be like, hey, so you need to bring your social security number or your card in because the number you gave us is incorrect. And I said, okay, brought it in. It's the exact way I written it down for them on my card. And they're like, are you sure that's your social security? I'm like, no, I fucking robbed a dude on the way here. What the fuck are you talking about? You have 2 stars of a review. I'm not wanting to get in here that bad on your fucking complex, right? And I'm like, yeah, this is mine. They're like, okay, because that social security is registered to someone who's dead. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah. I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yep, we're sure. I was like, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm a ghost.
I guess I don't exist. I don't know the government shit.
No more taxes for me.
My mom and dad have to deal with it now. But yeah, so and I asked a dude who I was talking to a financer once, and he was like, yeah, he told me that the reason that probably happened is because I guess sometimes people go to hospitals and they OD. And when they put down their social security, they don't put down their actual social security. They just make up one. And so, I mean, that's the only good excuse that I have as to why mine's registered to a dead dude, because some dude just hit the right numbers, and I'm the one dude that...
You OD'd, apparently.
Yeah, fucking... I gotta get my life together.
Come on, man.
What's left of it, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, what it was.
Yeah.
Technically.
Past tense. But yeah, but we were talking to the dealer, and I was like...
Talking to the dealer?
the dealer at the car. Speaking of OD, I've been sniffing a lot of those cars. Just put my
new car smell.
Put my nose on the tailpipe, just what Donald Trump's son said something really fucking stupid about elephants? Nope, I'm just gonna sniff this pipe that's connected to this car that's emitting really bad emissions because I just want to fucking die now. No, I was talking to the dealer at the car dealership, and I always bring up talking about serial killers, and it's always a roll of the dice, because it's not like there's a giant sign above people's heads who are into the same stuff. And so I just I'm like, hey, I wonder if this dude likes talking about serial killers. He doesn't. Spoiler alert.
Every time that you bring up your social security number, that's what you talk about.
Well, this is the Ed Gein story that I was talking about in episode 1. So the dealer, I guess his grandfather had a meat shop in Wisconsin. And I guess Ed Gein was a regular at their shop. So Ed Gein would come in, and supposedly his grandpa said that Ed Gein would look like he's just sizing up people the entire time he was there.
Really?
Yeah.
I was gonna say he probably walked in and was like, "Can I have your finest burger?"
How do you
that tasted like shit, so I'm gonna start eating people.
How do you start? How are you able to skin it so well? What do you do with the skin?
Yeah.
What kind of knife do you use? What's your technique? Can I go back? Can I go in the back and you show me?
Yeah, can I borrow that slicer one night?
You're not using that, are you?
Yeah. Is that an old fillet knife? Can I have it?
Mind if I have a part-time job here?
Can I have it?
No, I'm a vegetarian, but I like using knives.
Yeah. I like the feel of carving meat.
I like listening to My Chemical Romance on Thursday nights while I'm in the shower. So long and good night. All right, I don't know how long we can sing their song before we get sued.
That's it. You shut your dirty horn now.
We get sued for this shit. So yeah, but that was the Ed Gein story. That's why I didn't want to say in episode 1 because it's super like short.
That's really weird. How would you even like feel about that? Like one day, one of your regulars just like keeps coming in, and you're like, "Oh, this guy's he's a little off, but he's kind of cool. How's it going, Ed?" And then like the next day, they're like, "Oh, he didn't come in," and you see on the news, serial murderer Ed Gein, and you're like, "Oh my god."
How's it going, Ed? Great. I made you this belt.
Yeah.
Wow, what did you make this out of? Rare type of cow.
Yeah.
Looks a lot like my ex.
It looks a lot like Stacy's face. Or like, here, I made you this lampshade. Why does it look like a belly button? It's a belly button lampshade.
So you press it and it turns on the light.
Yeah, so you're like, oh, got the button. Get it? Belly button.
I'm a murderer. I want to say, I hope someone makes a movie about me with the dude with the chainsaw.
Yeah. And I have a whole family. Like
they should call it The Notebook.
Hit her in the head, Grandpa. He's the best hammer slammer ever.
I rooted to you for 7 years. That's my sound effect for a chainsaw. It sounds like a taser.
I was thinking more of like a shaver for your face.
Yeah. That's originally what it was going to be. Like, Leatherface was just going to shave people's faces out of pure terror. Like, that video from Jackass where it's like they have the buzz cutter. And he was just going to be him walking up to people and people going, "What the fuck, Leatherface?"
He's like,
"Behold the terror."
I want to come over for dinner and be my grandpappy.
We're cannibals. We love to have you for dinner.
Alright, see you tonight, guys. Goodbye.
So you want to know what's great about recording this episode 2 right after episode 1?
What's that?
Is that I don't have to address any negative comments about the vaccination deniers. By the time they listen to us, it's like time's already passed.
Yeah, it's like, get over it.
So if they email me now when we're going to be recording episode 6, just won't respond. You had your chance.
Yeah, too late.
You had your chance that you didn't know about.
Just like everything else in the world.
What? Where are you going with
Don't worry
that?
about it. Just forget it. All right?
Where are you
going?
It's just
Illuminati.
Yeah, and so other interesting tip is I'm always checking our Twitter followers, like how many, like who our latest ones are.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite so far is Angry Young and Poor is now following us, and they're they've been like, what it says in their Twitter bio is that we've been satisfying your punk, rock, and metal cravings since 1995 and are committed to providing the best prices anywhere. And basically what they do is sell clothing and merch.
Oh, that's cool.
For people who have like punk rock tastes and metal tastes, which is really tight because I mean our name is Punk Rock Fuck, I'm burping. Punk Rock Horror Podcast.
I thought you were going to talk about our little porn stock.
Oh no, I'm getting to that one. And then there's this. We're being followed by I don't know if she's like strictly a cam girl or not. She still is hashtag as a cam girl, and I don't know if I can say her name.
Let's not.
But like we're not throwing any shade, but like because I'm new to Twitter still, and I run the whole Twitter account, so I didn't know if like this was supposed to be like some sort of like scamming thing. Because I don't know if Twitter has scamming like accounts.
Like the bots and stuff like that.
Yeah, so like she followed us as like a cam girl, and so I followed her back. Because I'm assuming that's like what you're supposed to do when somebody follows you, is you follow them back on Twitter. That seems because I think
that's what I should be doing on our Instagram too.
Probably should do that.
Yeah, I mean I don't know.
If somebody wants to tell me if that's what you're supposed to do or not, that'd be great. But anyway, so like I checked out this chick's profile to see if like she's like selling something or like has like links to like different websites that require credit card information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some sort of sign that she's a scammer. And I don't look at her profile for a couple days. Check our followers again, and she was still up there, near the most recent of followers.
Yeah.
And her bio changed from trying to become a cam girl to 18 and up only. I'm just starting out in the adult industry, and I'm like, what the fuck? We have an amateur porn star now? Like, I mean, it's kind of something to brag about.
Baller?
Woot. Like I'm sure she's great at what she does. But
let's hope.
My question is,
she's good at taking.
Well, how did she find out about us? Because we're Punk Rock Horror Podcast, not Punk Rock Put Your Dick in My Face podcast.
Maybe she just likes punk rock,
or I guess,
or horror.
But it just like.
Horror, because of the horror starting out in the adult industry.
Well, because like when you set up a Twitter account, like it asks you what your interests are.
Yeah.
Like, and so like I put ours as like horror and podcasts and like music and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, did she just like hit every box?
She's like, I want to look for all of these.
So just.
You want to see me take a dick? You want to see me take a dick?
So yeah, if she.
My husband wants to see me take a dick.
Yeah, she has a hubby.
A hubby.
Which, shout out to him. High five.
All right, yep.
But, yeah, I guess if she's listening to this, you want to come on as a special guest?
Yeah. Well, dude.
She's probably not going to.
Tell
I'm assuming
more about yourself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Single.
It'd be something for us to brag about. And maybe she'll be single at the time. And you can be like, hey... So am I.
Hey, we see some tricks.
We sound super creepy. Yeah. Also,
I regret nothing.
I have a lot of favorite followers on here. But one of my favorite is, I'm probably going to butcher his name. Give me a second. Because he's an indie film director, but he has like a very specific last name. And I know here it is. It's Dave Vescio, Vescio.
Mm-hmm.
So he tweeted...
Vescio.
He's probably not following us anymore.
I am Vescio. I see yo.
But yeah, like, I think he directed films like... He directed the film Wolfmother and Hick, along with The Odd Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
So... tons of indie films, so on and so forth. But he retweeted this, or no, he tweeted that breaking news: Olivia Munn wants Brett Ratner out of the film industry. Says men in Hollywood aren't woke; they're scared.
They're not woke.
Well, because Brett Ratner is he's been accused of being sexually assaulting too, because Ellen Page called him out.
Yeah, okay. Well, just when you say they're not woke, that just makes me think of that whole flat Earth thing. I was like, oh no, Olivia Munn, please don't.
Don't go to the dark side.
Don't go there.
Which, by the way, the Earth isn't flat, and it doesn't matter what you say or think. Don't be stupid. Get your kid vaccinated. Go to school.
Don't get it, man.
This brought to you in part by
science.
Science, bitch. I don't do it the way he does it.
Science, bitch.
Science, bitch. Bitch.
Dude, I'm not following us anymore.
All right, so should we finally get to the episode?
Yeah.
I think people are annoyed yet. I wonder if anybody skipped all the way through.
Oh my god, just get to the reviews.
We just want to hear about this. So, do you want to talk about The Awakening first?
Yeah, let's talk about The Awakening first.
All right, since I took down the majority of the notes, I'll go ahead and go over it. You know, because I got to do everything, apparently.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
I'm just going to sit here and look pretty, and y'all could just pretend you know what I look like.
The Awakening.
Till you see the Instagram.
I mean, can I fucking talk?
No.
So, The Awakening is set in 1921. England is overwhelmed by the loss of grief of World War One. Hoax exposer Florence Cathcart visits a boarding school to explain sightings of a child ghost. Everything she believes unravels as the missing begin to show themselves. And that's it. We're done with that one.
All right. Next movie.
Directed by Nick Murphy. Writers Stephen Volk, Nick Murphy. Actors Rebecca Hall, Dominic West, and Imelda Staunton. Producer. Is it Staunton?
Stanton.
Student.
No, dude, we're Americans. They're British. We just say
The mean lady from Harry Potter.
Fuck that bitch.
Umbridge.
I hated her so much.
And produced by David M. Thompson.
Thompson.
Thompsonian. Do you want me to tell you the interesting stuff about this film, just like tidbits, or do we want to get into the meat of it? I think let's just get into the meat of it, and then we'll...
Yeah. Let's sprinkle a little bit.
So, like we said, we're going to go over the pros and cons of each one, and then at the end we're going to give our official choice, what we like which out of the two movies we like the most.
Yeah.
So, to begin, The Awakening, for me, like, it has a solid premise. All the actors are very likable. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I'm burping. All the actors are very likable. And accidentally so there's some conflicting information. Some of the information I looked up, it says it was shot on location in the UK, mm-hmm. but on their IMDb page, what the fuck? Sorry, I know.
Is that IMDb?
So, it says in their IMDb page, it says it was also the inside of the school used in the film is Marchmont House, and the outside is Manderson House, both on the outskirts of Duns, D-U-N-S, in the Scottish borders. So unfortunately, I don't know much about the UK, so I don't know if that's still accurate or not.
Yeah.
So, but I thought that if either way, that's still super interesting because it's not like a set piece that they build; it's an actual like thing.
Yeah,
it's an actual building, cool. Which is really tight. At the time when we did research on this, Rotten Tomatoes reported to have a 61% of 66 surveyed critics, which I guess over 60% is like a positive review. Mm-hmm. I gotta stop saying so we're also going to talk about like the spoilers are going to be included in this, and we'll let you guys know when we're going to talk about some big spoilers and how far to skip ahead.
Yeah, that way
we'll try to keep it as cohesive as possible, but we're just letting everybody know ahead of time. So
especially if it's going to be, if it sounds like a movie up until we get to the spoiler territory that you might want to watch. So
right, and so let's just keep going. So Rebecca Hall does a really good job as the protagonist mm-hmm. in this movie. Like, she starts off as a really good, strong female role in this movie. And the thing is that I don't know if it's just British films in general, because I don't want to just, like, put them all into one category. Yeah. But it's definitely a slow-paced movie. It has a very slow, creepy atmosphere. Creepy atmosphere. Creepy. It's in this side. It's inside of a creamer.
Oh, okay. I think it's like a Twinkie. It's nice, small,
spoiler,
slow, creamy pace.
But yeah, so it's slow paced, so it can be hard to stick with or pay attention to all the details because it feels like sometimes it takes too long to build up to like a scare or to something interesting. But I feel like it's very well placed, especially for the time it's set in, because I feel like in this day and age with movies like this, we're more likely to be less scared because it's like, oh, that's the 1921. They didn't have smartphones or the internet or digital cameras, so like of course they're scared by these small things, which they do a really good job of still putting in like a good amount of jump scares. and a good amount of just things that
and tension building.
Yeah,
and stuff like
tension
that.
building.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely did like it, especially for being a period piece, like really well. And also like I'm fairly certain like the science in some of her like experiments and stuff like that she does in there was really good, especially for that time period. So like just portraying all that kind of stuff was really good. And yeah, gross.
we're blowing the nose.
Gross. Hey, but Matt has to blow his nose so he could breathe instead of like being a mouth breather.
I really like this movie. It's really good.
You said Twinkie.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. Another good thing that I liked about it was also just like, honestly, the character build up for like at least two of the main characters is really good. So Rebecca Hall had a really good character build, and who's the other guy, the main guy?
Give me a second.
One.
I'm right there. Stefan Volk.
Yeah, Stefan Volk. He had a really good character arc. I felt like, in my opinion, like there was a couple of loose ends, but other than that, it was just kind of nice seeing him like being all bitter and kind of like skeptical in the beginning, like an angry dude, and then he like warms up to her.
Yeah, I like how he just kind of just like in the beginning of the film where she's like, "Look, I don't need to sign." This is my really bad British accent, a female British accent. I'm not here to sign any more books, but you can't follow me to my home. And he's like, "I actually hated your book."
Yeah, just like
your book sucks.
Yeah, you can shove it. All right.
Maybe write a better book, and then I'd actually follow you. No, I have a job for you. You're presumptuous bitch.
Yeah, maybe you should assume. If you assume, it makes an ass out of you and me.
Back then, she'd be like, not she, but everybody'd be like, fuck, that's poetic. That is deep. That is like Shakespeare level shit right now.
All right, now what do you need, sir?
I will work for free now. But yeah, also a really cool thing is that it stars two Game of Thrones stars, Isaac Hempstead, or Steed, right? Braun.
Yeah, Braun.
And Joseph, I'm going to fuck up his last name, Mal. M-A-W-L-E. Molly.
Mal.
He's the uncle in Game of Thrones. He's Ed Stark. Ned Stark's
the
brother.
The dead father Stark.
Yeah, poor Sean Bean.
I was like, spoiler alert, but if you see
he's made a career out of it, though. He's like fucking rich. He's like, I'm just gonna go on films and fucking die.
Yeah. Yeah, he literally has a death wish.
But yeah, no, going back to like why the acting is really great in this is that the woman who plays Umbridge in Harry Potter, Imelda Staunton, she does even though she played Umbridge and like that's her iconic role,
yeah,
you can definitely see her doing the role in this movie as the housemaid and like be able to separate the two. And like the reason I bring that up is because there's always that one character that an actor does that you can't separate them from that character.
Yeah.
And I felt like she was always going to be like Umbridge, but in this movie she actually does a really good job of taking on the role of the housemaid.
Yeah, you actually do care about her, even though like the entire time you want to like punch her in the face because all you can think is Umbridge.
Just
we're like, God, I still have like
punch her in the face.
Just once.
Fucking do it. Come on, Cathcart. Drop kick her.
Just get her out of there, Dumbledore.
So, but yeah, the movie does really good. It does good jump scares, but there's a few scenes that me and you both had a problem with. One was there's like a rape. There's like almost a rape scene.
There was no point. There's no point
like,
for that.
So the groundskeeper, who's played by Joseph, like he's just super grumpy the entire time, and
that's it. Like I think he was on screen for maybe a total.
Yeah, like they don't explain why he's angry. They don't explain why he's mad. He's just I am.
I hate this place, and like it shows the Volk. His character is just like I don't like this guy. He started here with like this kind of disorder. Now it's
Oh
gone.
fuck! Hey, so real quick, I accidentally got Stephen Volk mixed up with Dominic West when you were asking me about the lead guy. My bad. I meant Dominic West. Sorry.
It's just okay. All right, so Dominic West's character, like when you first see him interacting with that guy, he's with the groundskeeper. He's just like, I don't like him, and it's like, why? He's like, well, he started here with like this thing, and now it's gone. Like I think it was a gift.
And so he like keeps him like hired, and like I get back then, like I guess it's hard to find work.
Yeah,
people are willing to do that work, but like if you know the dude's a risk.
Yeah.
Then why not keep a better eye on him, get rid of him, whatever. Instead, like, he just, like, the Rebecca Hall's character, she's just, like, she doesn't even do anything to antagonize him, and he just gets pissed off, like, punches her in the face, takes her to the woods,
yep.
and tries to, like, rape her.
Yeah, and it was just like, what? Why? Because, I guess, semi-spoiler, she ends up sleeping with the main guy, and
Dominic.
Yeah, sleeps with Dominic. And the groundskeeper like sees them doing it, and he's just like, "Oh, so you're gonna sleep with any guy then?" And so
I have a shotgun.
And it's like, why? That was no point. Like, there was no. I don't know. It just pissed me off because it was just thrown in there.
It was an unneeded element.
Yeah, it was just thrown in there. It didn't need. It was just thrown in there for shock value and drama.
Like, and then Dominic West's character is like, he's on top of the whole boarding school. And he hears her scream, and, like, this isn't a small boarding school. And so, like, she gets saved, and we'll talk about, like, how she got saved in a second here. But she gets saved by an outside force, and all of a sudden, he catches up to her within, like, 30 seconds of her screaming. I'm like, did he just, like, fucking jump off the roof and tuck and roll? How did he get off the roof? That is not, like, because he's locked in. Like, he's locked into where he's at. Like, he can't get out. So I'm like, how the fuck did he get down? Was there a trampoline or something? Did he fly? Umbridge, I'm here to help you. Jump in my purse.
Yes. Mary Poppins came out of nowhere.
Like, that kind of bothers me. Like, I can suspend my belief and whatnot, or whatever that fucking term is, but it's just like, how do you get down and to her, like, within 30 seconds?
Just magic.
It's just, it's so aggravating.
It's magic.
Like, does he have just, like, a grappling hook, like, in the back of his pocket? Just, I'm glad I invested in this. That was the perfect time.
I am British Batman. Yeah, there's that. And yeah, it's just fuck, dude.
So
I hated that scene anyways.
If we can talk, and there is a twist. I mean, we can talk about the twist now if we want.
No, there's a couple other things that I actually liked about it. Rebecca Hall, she just did such a good job in it. Like, that's why I was so.
Oh no, she totally. Her and Dominic sold their parts really well.
Yeah, well, the other cool thing about it is because she wasn't like, her character wasn't just like, a strong female character or whatever. She was smart. She was really, really smart because she was a scientist, and she was really rational with everything.
Yeah, because
which is cool. And even though she had like that weird minor breakdown in the beginning before like it explains everything, like, it didn't detract from her character at all. It's not one of those things like, oh, strong-willed woman who has a soft side that you'll find out later. It was more of like, it's just, it happened.
Yeah, she's very analytical, very scientific. She tries multiple tests, and she's still like, nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, until she's like fully proven wrong.
Yeah, and also the nice thing about that is like, because like in some movies they have women that are like that, but they still have them show off like all their cleavage, short shorts and shit like that. Still be like, they're like, super sexy women could be smart too. And it's like, no, fucking, if they're gonna be really smart and stuff like that, just have them be really smart. You don't need to show all that stuff off. So exactly. That's what I also really liked about it.
She didn't solve it with her boobs.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought that was really great about her character.
I'll prove it's a hoax. Bam.
Yeah. Boobs, and the ghost just comes out. Oh!
I'm actually a gay ghost. I won't possess this building anymore. No. This isn't what I thought it was.
I'm gonna go back out to the forest. So, like, that's what I actually really liked about her character. But that was also kind of like her downfall near the end too. Like, almost ruined it for me because, like, Do you want to start like the spoiler warning?
Yeah. So, how far do we want to tell people to skip ahead if they don't want it to be
skip
spoiled?
ahead 5 minutes.
Yeah. Skip ahead 5 minutes.
And start 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So
all right. She's actually a griffin in a person's costume. Turns out.
What's a twist? But no, like, okay, it's because through the whole movie, everything she does is like through rational and like scientific proof and everything. She was like, I can prove this happened, blah blah blah, and she goes, I can prove the ghost wasn't real because what happened is that this teacher scared one of the children and they died from an asthma attack, and then like one thing that just came out of nowhere that made no sense to the whole movie whatsoever, didn't really need to be there. They just threw it in just to have a twist where she sees a ghost that tries to shoot her in the face and she has a panic attack and is like, that's not rational. I have to keep solving the mystery.
Which, finding out the ghost that tries to shoot her in the face was actually her father.
Yeah.
Because found out that boarding school was her house when she was a kid. And I guess she repressed the entire thing her entire life. Yeah. No one has said anything up to her point. The housemaid was actually the woman who like helped raise her when she was a little kid.
Yeah, who she didn't recognize at all. Like, and it wasn't even like she raised her till she was like 3 or 4, where you don't have any memories. No, she was like 8, 9, 10, like in that part, from where you see her as a kid.
And Isaac Wright's character Tom is a ghost that apparently the housemaid can see, and Rebecca can see, but no one else can see. And so, like near the end, Imelda's character, Maud, is like the housemaid. She's like, I can see him too. And I was like, you didn't think of telling her this at any fucking point in the movie?
Yeah, no, she had to see that. She had to prove that she remembered,
like,
or some bullshit like that. And it's like, seriously? And so like
you're home now. Like, you couldn't have sent a postcard this entire fucking time. Like, I get it. We needed a movie. I get it.
It's just with that twist, like, it was so disappointing. Like, it would have just been better, like, if the whole twist was that, like, there really was the ghost haunting the place and stuff like that. And then, like, instead of, like, let's just throw in this random tidbit, because, like, oh, she's actually related to the ghost. It's her dead brother.
So I think we got, like, a minute or 2 left.
Yeah.
I had to go back to the IMDb page. So I'll check real quick. But no, it's super infuriating. And then I could have been fine with the twist if they didn't end the movie this way, where like Maud wants her to be a ghost that stays with her forever, so she poisons Rebecca's character. Rebecca dies.
Herself. No, it's because she wants them to be a family.
Oh yeah, wants to be like a fucking ghost family, I guess. Whatever. Yeah. And then she dies. Like Dominic's character isn't able to save Rebecca in time. And then at the end, it just shows like Rebecca's character as a ghost walking with Dominic's character, like, and his arms around her waist. And so if we're looking,
and they even kiss.
Like, if we're working with the rules of like how Rebecca can see Tom and the housemaid can see Tom, but no one else can, does that mean he's just because at the end, like, all the like other boarding like kids boys are coming back to the school with their parents? Is he just standing there with all those people around with his arm around nothing, and he's just like, I love you too.
Yeah,
and he kisses the air.
Yeah.
Like, why would you, like, if I saw that back in 1921, I'd be like, you're not going to this school anymore.
Yeah, I don't care how much we don't really want you around. You're not going here, and I'm calling the cops. That guy needs to be institutionalized.
That is fucked up.
Okay.
Why is his leg always bleeding?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and that's what ruins the movie for me is that twist. It's just because up to that point it was doing pretty good. It was defining my expectations, and then they just are like, oh yeah, now he has weird ghost sex.
Yep, that's his life now. Weird ghost sex.
Sweet, right? You didn't see that coming. What a twist!
What a twist!
But to give this movie some, because it's still a good movie. It's well produced. It's shot well. I'm going to tell you a little interesting facts about it. So, at around 20 minutes, by the way, we stopped talking about spoilers. At around 20 minutes, when, and this is all off IMDb, so I'm just reading it from IMDb. At 20 minutes, when Miss Cathcart is investigating the classroom where many of the ghost sightings occurred, for a brief moment on the chalkboard behind her, there is a quotation that says, "Bird. No, There's a quotation that says, "They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old." This is a line from the poem For the Fallen by British poet Lawrence Binyon, published in 1914. It was meant as an ode to the British soldiers dying in the First World War. This hints, among other things, at connections to the boys who were shown earlier in the film in the school photos, many of whom presumably died during the war. Let's see, there was another one. Oh, yeah, so Isaac Hempstead... No, that's not the one I'm looking for. I lost it. Give me a second. For some reason, even though it's in the bio, one of the trivia questions says, the film takes place in 1921.
No.
Fuck, I thought this was a 70s film.
Yeah, I thought it took place in the 2000s.
So, Florence is nicknamed Mossy. Mossy means little mouse in German and is common nickname used for loved ones, much like honey in English.
Huh.
When I read that, like, I don't know, I didn't realize they were, like, talking about honey, like, when you talk to your significant, they were like, honey. Like, I just thought they meant, like, I thought it was this weird presumption that someone's like, yeah, like, Americans just say honey all the time, right, when they're talking to something cute. But I was like, all right, who's the racist?
Yeah, who hates America?
Also, the painting of the two women killing a man and they get, like, when they first get to the boarding school,
yeah,
is said to be the boys' favorite, is titled Judith Beheading Holofernes. I hope it's Holoffernes, and painted in 1612 by Italian artist. I'm gonna try here. Artemisia Gentileschi. Gentileschi.
Genitals.
Gentileschi.
Gonorrhea.
Yeah, so those are just some interesting tidbits.
Cool.
Oh, also, the location used for the school, the mansion of Lyme Park in Cheshire. So I guess it was true.
Lyme?
Well, I didn't know if it's Lyme or LeMay.
LeMay?
Because it's Lyme.
It's pronounced LeMay.
LeMay. It was also used as Mr. Darcy's estate, Pemberley, in the 1995 BBC series starring Colin Firth. Carl. All right. So we want to talk about The Void now?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess we would probably recommend The Awakening if you kind of want like a British horror film.
You were just like
That's my thing.
shitting on this film with your recommendation.
I know. Just,
I mean,
dude,
if you
that ending it pissed me off so bad. Like I was enjoying it so much, and then they just like and a twist, and I was like, no, come on, like why couldn't it just been like it'd have been better if it just stayed like the whole like Scooby Doo mystery thing where like there's a ghost. Who's under the mask? Like,
oh.
yeah, but I mean, I would kind of recommend it, I guess. I don't know. I'm very judgmental with movies, so.
Well, we got like about 15 minutes left.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna go to The Void. So, I need to read the whole description. So, The Void.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. It was made in 2016. The bio is shortly after delivering a patient to an understaffed hospital, a police officer experiences strange and violent occurrences seemingly linked to a group of mysterious hooded figures. The directors and writers, which I thought was actually kind of cool, is oh my god, how do you say that? Jeremy Gillespie,
Gonorrhea.
Gillespie, and then gonorrhea. And
Sorry, everybody.
Steven Kostansky.
Sorry, everybody. That was my pug. She wanted to say hi. Just.
Some of the more known actors: Aaron Poole, Kenneth Welsh is probably the most known actor in that, and then Daniel Fathers, how do you say it? Kathleen Monroe, and Ellen Wong, which BT dubs, I didn't know this until I looked this up. Ellen Wong is Knives Chow and Scott Pilgrim, so I was like, oh, when I saw that, because I love that movie.
Fanboyed.
Yeah. And so, yeah. I really liked the movie. I thought it was really good. I guess I should probably say like the fucking Rotten Tomato score, I guess, if we really want.
I think I have it.
It got a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, but a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Did you tell him the plot?
Yes, I did.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
God, maybe if you listened.
I never do.
So I liked the movie. I thought it was really good. It definitely, and it had a lot of
suspense.
Oh my God, suspense. It's one of those movies where it goes 0 to 100 really fast. Like it has like small. It's kind of slow in the beginning, so you're like, oh, it's gonna do some character build up, and then it just shits all over that. And throws shit in there. Like,
it totally comes off like it starts off like every other like
cult movie,
current horror movie kind of film where it's like. Mm-hmm. Something shocking happens in the beginning. Oh, there's a like family member going around shooting people in the face with a shotgun. Yeah. Seen that before.
Yeah, and then it just goes, what the fuck? So, yeah, I thought that was really cool. Great use of body horror. Oh my God, especially because like nowadays you don't see a whole lot of body horror and use like especially practical effect body horror. You don't see that a whole lot nowadays. And so, like, what I mean by body horror is, like, the creatures, it's, like, mutations and stuff like that from the human body to something else. Like, they do a really good job about that, and fantastic Lovecraftian atmosphere.
Yeah, which, by the way, if you don't know any Lovecraftian mythos, this movie might, like, confuse you. Like, and I don't mean that in, like, a degrading way. Like, because, like, you didn't know as much about it until I told you about it.
Yeah.
Like, the Lovecraftian influence. And, like, so real quick, like, stepping back, like, the way he uses body horrors really well is, like, still near the beginning of the movie where, like, the nurse cuts off her face. And she's like, this isn't my real face. And, like, pulls, like, a not killing joke, a death in the family joke, or rip off her face. And just, like, she cuts off her entire face. And, it does it really well to where she morphs into this giant gumball mutant.
Yeah, it looks like a giant chewed up piece of gum, but like has tentacles and tendrils.
Yeah, and she's like, brrr. So it sounds way more terrifying than that. But
yeah, so I guess like the most well-known thing of Lovecraftian stuff like that people would know about is Cthulhu. Yeah, so, like that's where all the tentacles and stuff like that come from. But
and we'll get into like why it's more Lovecraftian inspired when we talk about the
spoilers territory part. But yeah, that's what I really like that. And honestly, I thought it had, even though it didn't give you a whole lot of stuff about the characters, like I felt like, in my opinion, the characters themselves had a good story arc. Like they had good character arcs in themselves, even like the short times that some of the characters were on screen. Like I thought it was really good.
Yeah. What I will say though that is a con in this movie is that it has some very infuriating horror tropes. So at least I think it's infuriating. Key point. The father, who's played by Danielle Fathers.
Yep.
Ironically enough. Comes in because, you know, the whole hospital is surrounded by this cult. Mm-hmm. And the guy that the officer, Aaron Poole's character, brings in was, like, part of the cult.
Yeah.
And, like, killed the father's daughter. And so, like, he comes in... just like guns blazing, like, where is that motherfucker? And just like wants to shoot him in the fucking face, even though this whole hospital is surrounded by this giant like Lovecraftian satanic cult, and there's like a giant fucking meat monster that wants to eat them. He's like, he's got to fucking die. And it's like, the world is kind of ending right now. I'm sorry about your daughter, but can you maybe get your shit together and not get us all killed?
You calm down right now. And like another thing that like super pissed me off with that too is like there's a point where he's so gung-ho about it and saying like he just wants to kill that guy. And then there's a part where they're like, well, we need the shotgun in the cop car. And he was like, I'm not going out there to fight them all off. And literally like 2 minutes beforehand, it was like, well, what the fuck were you going to do after you killed that guy?
And he killed the giant Resident Evil chewed up gum mutant monster, and he's like, I don't know how to kill them. Like, you fucking did it.
Yeah, he knew to cut off their heads.
Did you not take like notes? Like, what do you mean you don't know how to do it? Yeah. Like, his character just got on my nerves a lot because it's like, look, I get you're fucking angry coming from a dad. I guess if I was in that situation, I'd be fucking angry too. But if fucking my choices of people to survive aren't very, I don't have many choices, I'm going to work with what I got.
Yeah, that was pretty infuriating. I guess another like infuriating thing is like later on in the movie when we're like, we need to split up. You two stay here. We're going this way. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, they say it's because like they wanted Ellen Wong's character, the nurse,
Yeah.
to help. What's her name?
Grace Monroe. No, yeah, Grace Monroe. Maggie.
Yeah, to give birth. But
Yeah.
but the thing, because they're like, oh, well, she has more medical experience, but she ends up opening a book to learn how to do it anyways, and she still doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So at that point, you might as well given it to her grandfather, Maggie's grandfather, to help bring the baby. If it comes down to like, you have to read the book.
Yeah.
Like, take him with you. Like, don't separate up the entire party.
Yeah, I know. So that was pretty. That was frustrating.
Like, I get, like, they're like, oh, well, one of them needs to help bring the baby in while the other one protects the other one. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I just fucking, really? It's just infuriating horror tropes. Like, I get why they did it, but at the same time, it's still frustrating.
Yeah, so, like, I guess, like, just, like, even though they had good character arcs, it was, like, more just, like, the characters being stereotypical horror characters. That was super infuriating about it.
Because
like,
this movie's doing so good with being unique and intense on its own that I feel like it shouldn't rely on those tropes.
Yeah, because, like, what I was reading is that the writers and directors, they really wanted to, like, be a cult classic style movie. So, because they said they were playing a lot of homage to 80s films, like 80s John Carpenter
it's
films and stuff like that.
Homage.
Fuck you. And so, like, yeah, that was kind of cool. Like, that's kind of cool to do that kind of stuff. But, like, man, like we said, like, it was doing so good at being different in a sense of, like, throwing in the body horror and doing really well, especially in a time and age where all films want to just do fucking CGI.
Yeah.
And shit like that. I was like...
That's what bummed me out about The Deviled. We'll talk about that another time. But,
yeah.
But so... I guess now we'll go into spoiler territory.
Yeah, spoiler territory. Even though it's going to be really good stuff, it's going to have to skip ahead.
Listen at your own cost.
Yeah.
So beginning at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The cultists are drag queens.
Yeah, that's it. It's all a bunch of like dudes wearing makeup.
It's actually they're scouts for RuPaul's next season of drag show.
Yeah, and they were just waiting for Maggie to give birth, so they're like, and now you're on the show. No, seriously, like one of the fucking awesome scenes in that movie. So it's like
let's talk about the twist. Like, let's say what the twist is first, and then we'll talk about why it's cool. So, twist is that I didn't see it coming. I usually can spot this stuff from a mile away, but the doctor,
I had no idea what was gonna happen.
the head doctor, is actually the leader of this cult.
Yeah.
And the whole building is the center for like the signal for the portal for the void. And you go into the basement of the hospital, and he's standing in front of this huge black gate, which is the portal to the void. Which the void is a Lovecraftian thing, from what I understand, and that's where it's like Lovecraftian inspired.
Yep.
Fuck, I'm gonna be upset if I'm wrong.
Give you some. God damn it! But yeah, so like that whole thing, and I didn't get it the whole time. Like the scene where the main nurse lady dies, he uses her as like a portal for like to bring more of the demons that he needs around. Like that's the whole thing why he has the pregnant girl.
Yeah.
And he keeps getting all these girls pregnant is because he's like the leader of the cult, and he needs their life essence to open the
portal. Yeah.
So like, and it's just like it blew my mind when I saw that. Like I didn't get it at all when I first saw it. Like it was still good. I still enjoyed the movie, but I was like, what?
Then also like he rips off his entire skin and it's just muscly. So he like evolves as like a video game boss.
Because he kind of gets killed in the very beginning, and that's how you join the other side of the void. Is you have to die first.
You go into the void.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like leaving your earthly body or some shit like that until he like looks like a Dark Souls boss.
Yeah, seriously, I was like, nope.
And so
tuck and roll.
Like you don't see the twist coming, and that's what's really nice about it is that they don't shove it in your face. It goes with what they set up, and it doesn't feel forced at all. I will admit the CG for the void when the heroes are in the void.
Yeah, that was
a little choppy, but this is a crowdfunded movie, and for what they could do.
In fact, it was a crowdfunded project. That way, it doesn't have like any like big name producers or anything because it was all fucking crowdfunded. Cool.
Which the practical effects they could do with it being crowdfunded is really impressive.
Yeah, I was super impressed when I found out it was crowdfunded.
So like, I'm not holding the CG against them because they did what they could and they totally sold the movie. Like it's fantastic. It definitely deserves more attention than it has gotten. So I loved it. That probably brings us to the end of the spoiler.
Yep.
So yeah, I love this movie. Despite its like infuriating horror tropes, there's a lot that it does right to make up for it. And it honestly had me like enthralled. It was freaking out Lauren the entire time. She thought it was going to be boring.
Yeah, I was like, when I first started watching it, like, because you recommended me to watch it first, you're like, just give it a chance, just watch it. And so, like, when I first started watching, I was like, oh, it's just going to be another, like, cult movie, because, like, the whole thing in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then, like, once that nurse had the fucking tentacles coming out of her face, I was like, what the fuck? Because, like, I saw her body twitch, because it does, like, that slow pan
Oh, my
up.
God.
Yeah, the slow pan up for, like, in some movies, when you see the bodies twitching and stuff like that, you're like, oh, she's going to become a zombie or whatever. And then, like, you just kind of see the bits of the tentacles, like, wiggling, like, just, like, side screen as it, like, slowly goes up to her face, and you see it's coming out of her eyes and her mouth. I was just like, oh, shit's gonna get real now. Oh, no. Like, you see her as the creature. I was just like, oh, my God. Like, what the hell is going on?
Basically, when in doubt, shoot it in the face.
Yeah, cut the head off. Always take the head off.
Never doubt that. Cut the fucking head off.
Yeah, you gotta cut it off.
So we're about we're like a little after 57 minutes.
Okay, I guess we're gonna do our wrap up. Highly recommend The Void, especially if you love Lovecraftian stuff. Just because like I felt like they did such a good job, and it's such a good portrayal of Lovecraftian lore and everything. If you don't know too much about Lovecraftian stuff, I would recommend like kind of researching a little bit, especially about The Void, before you watch this movie, just because you will be like me, where like you'll like and enjoy the whole movie, especially the body horror if you're into that. And then that ending comes around and you're just like, what? The Awakening, like I said, I guess.
I mean, if you like paranormal movies and you want something that's a little different, definitely give The Awakening some time. If you listen to the twist, the spoiler of that movie,
then don't watch it.
Then I mean, go in knowing that happens. But I mean, just it's worth the time. I try not to hold that twist accountable for the whole movie, but it's really hard not to.
It's like an M. Night Shyamalan film. Oh,
The Village. The movie was going to be so great, and then he just like fucks it up so bad.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess it's not bad as The Last Airbender.
Or The Happening.
Onk.
Fucking tree. Yeah, so that is pretty much, that's going to be kind of like how our movie things go for the most part.
Criticisms, reviews.
Yep, criticisms, reviews,
To enter, only one leaves.
Yeah. Again, please follow us on our Instagram and our Facebook and Twitter. All of them are at Punk Rock Horror Podcast.
Our Twitter is official PHP. Instagram is
Punk Rock Horror Podcast or hashtag PHP Podcast.
Our Facebook is Punk Rock Horror Podcast. I think it's also official PHP too on that one.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Our email.
Check out
Our email. Yeah, if you still want to send us stories or hate mail, our email is punkrockhorrorpodcast@gmail.com.
Check out our website, www.punkrockhorrorpodcast.com.
Let us know how we can improve it. It's the first time we ever ran a website.
Yeah, and
review, subscribe,
yep,
give us some 5 stars.
Yeah, throw some 5 stars and
Please.
some thumbs up. Also, if you have movie recommendations that you'd like us to go over and stuff like that, send us an email.
Yeah, we'll try to throw a third one every now and then, depending on what we're working with in the future.
Yep.
Also, like, real quick, depending when you're listening to this, hopefully we have these episodes available across many platforms.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to have at least everyone be able to get it on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. We're trying to get...
SoundCloud?
Yeah, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, Podcast Addict. We're trying to get it all as many places as we can. So, again, we're new to this. Bear with us if you're not able to listen to it yet. Go to YouTube. That's where you're more than likely able to listen to it across any platform, like any device you have.
Yep, and we'll let you know once we have our YouTube channel and everything set up for that.
Which you probably already know if you're listening to this right now.
Because this is episode 2.
Because you found it. I hope you guys aren't hearing my farts.
Didn't have to announce it. Like,
I mean,
come on.
There's a lot of things we don't... I think that's like the least of the lines we should worry about crossing.
No.
I'm a human being. I mean, I can say I fart. It's okay.
No.
Yeah.
You can't.
Better out than in, I always say.
Is that your advice for the week?
No, here, you go. I'll think of an advice.
No. Mine is don't announce when you're farting. Just let it happen.
I announce after.
Or after. Just let it happen. Just let it happen.
Just
Don't
let it
say
happen.
anything. Yeah, just let it happen.
All right, my advice, nobody cares if you're a couple and both of you are in the same picture on your Facebook profile. Just be yourself. Nobody gives a shit. Stop telling yourself a lie that people care.
Dude.
Who are you trying to prove something to? Are you trying to prove you're a couple to yourselves?
Are you really that upset that said don't announce you're farting, that you're going to take it out on couples?
Fuck those people. You know who you are.
You're a married couple.
Yeah, but me and Lauren don't shove our faces into one picture because we're adults.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't. She does it.
She does it.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, well, you're still part of at least one half of that kind of couple.
I don't recognize it.
Oh, right.
I do what I want.
Thank you guys, and we'll catch you back for episode 3.
All right. Bye.